you guys run the local net up there? And if so, what is the frequency of that local net?
All right, everybody. So Huntsville Skywarn is all linked up and just waiting on these storms to move into northwest Alabama. We still got a little bit of time before they do move into northwest Alabama. So right now, just looking at the radar, probably going to sit back kind of quiet for a little while till they do move in. But right now, if this tornado warning storm does continue on its current path, it would eventually move into Faulkner in 15 minutes. I believe that's going to be over toward Mississippi. These storms are not in northwest Alabama yet. Eventually, Tiplersville. Cromtown at 32 minutes, Collinstown at 33 minutes, Jumperstown at 42 minutes, Allentown at 43 minutes. Pretty good little list here. Looks like we're going to get these storms in northwest Alabama within the next 45 minutes to 1 hour. So looking at some of the path right now. It's like Waterloo area in the next hour it's showing, but kind of hold off on that track for a little while because it's still a good ways out, a lot further than I thought it was actually. So this line here, still tornado warning out on that one, and that's going to be, of course, for Mississippi. That's not in, or actually, no, I take that back. It's going to be, okay, let me get myself in order here. Tornado warning, National Weather Service in Memphis, Tennessee at 11:39 p.m. issued a, of course, tornado warning for Tippah County in northeastern Mississippi, northern Benton County in northeast Mississippi, and western Alcorn County in northeastern Mississippi. Of course, tornado and half a dollar size hail with that. Storm was located near Kennan, or 17 miles northeast of Holly Springs, moving east at 35 miles per hour. So leave that up for just a moment. All right, looks like this needs to be readjusted a little bit, so bear with me. We're going to adjust that a little bit better. There we go. All right, everybody, it's going to be a little bit boring, just letting you know that. We're going to continue tracking these out until it does move into northwest Alabama, probably the next 45 minutes or so. Looks like it eventually get around the Waterloo area. That is, if this tornado warning storm continues its current strength. So we will be standing by and watching for that. I actually have a tornado warning storm going toward one of the cameras. So let me switch radars. I'm going to take a look at that camera network really quick. Oh, pretty nasty little storm up there around Tennessee at the Maury County 911 Dispatch Center. Looking at their camera tower here. I wish I could broadcast it on here, but unfortunately. See how they're nasty little cell going right for them. That cell I'm watching there is just near Columbia, Tennessee, just to the north of Mount Pleasant. It looks like the rotation is going right toward Maury County 911 Dispatch Center there, just to the southwest of Columbia there, and near, looks like that's Highway 43 around Pleasant Hills. Looks like it's around Canaan, just to the west. of Canaan there. I'm watching a tornado warning cell there, rotation. Looks like it's going right toward the Maury County 911 tower here. So I'm looking on the tower. I'm not sure which direction we're looking, but I believe we're looking the opposite direction of what we should be, but not seeing nothing of lightning at the moment on the tower cam.
County, thank you very much. I'll meet you on your local here shortly.
And please like and share the stream. Support us as well. Things have got very difficult when it comes to support. So things have got outrageous. So like and share. That's one way you can support us. We also have Cash App too. We'll get with that later on. Okay, not seeing a lot on the tower yet. I'm going to keep an eye on it. Let's get back to tracking. And the cell that I'm currently tracking, the dispatch center, there's literally a camera literally right here. A tower is about to be impacted by this. It's like right in there is where the 911 center is at, and there's a tower right there. Showing some light to moderate rain. Looks like that's about it. I do see rotation, of course. Nasty little storm heading their way. I believe the camera's aimed in another direction. Thank you, Goose Farm Weather. I appreciate that. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Again, it's going to be kind of boring for a little while, at least for another 30 minutes or so till these storms start getting into northwest Alabama. Just wanted to get everything up, make sure everything's working properly, of course, before it does get in here. And, of course, seems like everything's working properly. Hello, everyone. Not much, Justin Lee. How's it going? Hello, Rebecca Hartline, Misty Kilgore. Not sure who. I think that's probably Tyler. Yep, Tyler. Hello from Eider. Appreciate you being on. Crystal, thank you. Jennifer Shea. Get back to the tower cam here. I wish, like I said, I wish to goodness I could broadcast these. It'd be so cool. But I've reached out to so many people about getting the permission to air these, which you just can't. I mean, that's just the way it is. Just can't do it. Unfortunately. But, I'm trying to get permission to at least share the video footage. That would be nice if I could at least share it on Facebook. That'd be great. I guess I kind of understand, why they don't want you to broadcast it, because people will take footage and they'll make a lot of money on it. So, I get it. I really do. But yeah, heck of a storm now coming into the Maury County near Columbia. Lots of continuous lightning, like every few flashes. Every few seconds, a lot of flashes. My goodness. Let me check radar sites here. Way too far away. Doppler radar, I knew there was something not right about that. Yeah, there could be a tornado trying to develop right near the 911 center there. And I'm looking on the map. Let me move it out of the way here. I mean, it's headed right for the 911 center there. So I'm looking at it on the camera. Lots of lightning with it. If there is anyone southwest of Columbia, Tennessee, to the northeast of Mount Pleasant, there's some decent rotation with that storm. It looks like it's going right on top of the 911 center right about now, any minute now. And looking at the camera, I see lots and lots of lightning, lots of rain, lightning every few seconds. Like every blink, there's lightning. So starting to get some pretty high winds in there now on the tower cam. And there's currently 180 people watching that tower cam. But for those of you that wants to know, how can you view this? How can I legally view this stuff? I know I've had some people ask, how can I get access to these cameras? Well, it's the only way that I know of that you can get access is through Radar Omega. And to be honest, it's worth the $10 a month just to look at the cameras. I mean, you can look at cameras all over the, all over the world, pretty much all over the United States with it. Yeah, it's really getting bad now at the Maury County 911 communications. It's shaking the camera pretty bad right now. And it just became strangely still, which is very concerning. Now we got the winds pulling in a different direction, so I'm getting pretty concerned by what I'm seeing on this camera here. And now it's just completely calm again. Lightning every few seconds. Going back and looking at radar, looks like it's indicating a possible tornado there, tornado signature, or TVS, tornado vortex signature, showing up there, coming right at the Maury County 911 Tennessee communications, or not far from it. You can definitely tell there's some rotation with it because those winds are just going all over the place. So far, still power up in Tennessee, though. And hopefully it stays that way,
This is KI4QWR. In control for the North Alabama, Southern Middle Tennessee Skywarn Emergency Net, which has been activated for Tornado Watch number 81.
Okay, so that station is going to be located, I'm going to say, it is coming rotation very close to the station there.
Northwest Alabama, Colbert, Franklin, Lauderdale, Lawrence.
Yes, right on top of the 911 center right now. Thankfully, well, camera just went down.
This includes the cities of Athens, Collin, Coleman, Decatur, Deckard, Estelle Springs, Fayetteville, Florence, Huntsville.
Yeah, their tower cam just went down. So I'm going to switch to the fire department, Columbia, Tennessee station, and it looks like it's down too. Yeah, we've got 2 stations down currently. So not sure what's going on, but we've lost connection with the 911 center, communications, and also fire department. So yeah, there's a pretty mean little storm there. Hopefully nothing touched down, but it looks like the power may be out as the towers are off air at this time. Nasty little storm there. And I got to reposition. I was in the wrong spot. Right there is where that tower's at. And there may very well be a tornado coming right at the 911 center. I mean, look at that. There's that tornado signature there. It does kind of broadened out a little bit, but it's coming right at the 911 tower currently, probably a few seconds away from impact on the station there. If it is on the ground, hopefully it's not. Yeah. All right, good news, no debris signature yet. But yeah, right now it's like right on top of the center there. Yeah, we have no connection whatsoever with the station there. It is off air. Maury County 911 went down, and also Columbia, Tennessee Station 3 fired has also went off air. So prayers for them. Hopefully they took shelter. If they're in the 911 center there, they're below ground, and also Fire Station 3 as well. If any of them's there, hopefully they're underground as well, because of tornado signature right on top of them. Of course, that's the indication of some rotation. I'm not seeing it on the ground just yet, but there's definitely something pretty nasty going on there. I did see a signature just then that looked a little bit interesting, so I'm going to get it back to higher resolution. Looks like our tower came back up, or their tower came back up. Okay, and good news, everything looks like it's still there. So, looks like if there was something, thankfully, it did not touch down on top of them. So, all right, let's back it up. We're getting some stuff in our area now. All right, moving it out. Glad to see their towers coming back up. So, good news. Let's go ahead and get our other station back up really quick. Oh, yeah, Kevin, it definitely was rotating big time. All right, we're switching back to our other radar. It depends on if these storms continue to produce tornadoes. Like if they continue to produce tornado warnings there, they enter into northwest Alabama, and we start to see them issue tornado warnings, a little bit further to the east. I'll try to explain this a little better with my radar, which will probably help. So if we get the storms in here and they start, going tornado warned, okay, well, they're under a watch. That's to be expected. So let me clear that off really quick. Moving on, if we start seeing tornado watch, warnings continue, when it gets along I-65 here, or close to it, if the storms, just go wild and they start overproducing, getting very close to outside the watch area, then yeah, they would go ahead and extend it into our area. But right now, that's not the case. They have not extended the tornado watch into our area yet. And I know it says mesoscale discussion. There's already been a watch issued, though, so I don't know what's going on with that. But there is already a watch for northwest Alabama, so okay. Maybe it hasn't updated yet. Yeah, sorry, I keep on getting off track. Okay. Yeah, I'm glad they're safe there. It looks like the tower came back up. The one at the 911 center there hasn't came back up yet. But hopefully they're okay over there in Tennessee. So right now what we got is a special weather statement for northwest Alabama around Waterloo area. We'll continue to watch these. Looks like the tornadoes are hanging out up in Tennessee at this current time. Looks like one of their radars has officially went down after this passed through. See some other stations now popping up. I don't know if these guys are, storm spotters setting up cameras or if they're just now turning on, but I didn't see those there a minute ago. I personally think that we're going to kind of go into a damage and wind threat is what I'm thinking. I'm going to back up here and look at the model's outlooks while the radar's running here. So yeah, now the models are wanting to bring this into our area around 7 or 8 o'clock. Okay, down just a little bit. So looking at significant tornado perimeter, the most intense areas right now look to be over northwest Alabama. So if there's going to be any tornadoes, it's definitely going to be over northwest Alabama, extending down to the southwest. So I'll just go ahead and bring you guys along and let y'all take a look at that as well. Let me skip over, and we'll take a look at the models real quick. Sorry about that. Let's see. Back to what I was doing. All right, so looking at northwest Alabama, this is going to be at 1 a.m. There's the reds, pretty intense there. Significant tornado perimeter. As it moves to the east, looking at some energy around Huntsville, of course, still over northwest Alabama. Then it extends to the southwest and it just kind of dies off as it moves into northeast Alabama. You see those colors really just disappear. Also watching for a secondary. I'm seeing something in the back there. You know, may not be too much with this, but we'll keep an eye on it anyway. That's showing at 2 o'clock tomorrow, so that's a little bit odd. I believe I saw that earlier. Let's look at the supercell composite. Low threat of that around that time period. Let's back it on up. So the high resolutions wanting to say there will be some embedded supercells, of course, up in Tennessee. We're seeing that go through like literally right now. Embedded supercell up there, some around the northeast corner of Mississippi. Also northwest portions of Alabama there as it moves on through. So their best chances of supercells will be along and west of I-65 currently. We'll move it forward. I mean, it's just not showing anything, but a big supercell down there. Looks like that's near Tuscaloosa. That's a huge supercell. Big time energy down there. And that kind of progresses east. We'll keep an eye on this secondary stuff. Looks like it's wanting to come in again. That's at 2 o'clock tomorrow. Not a lot of energy with it at all, but the weather can be pretty crazy.
Net control for the North Alabama Southern Middle Tennessee Skyward Emergency Net. National Weather Service Huntsville has issued a special weather statement for Moore and Lincoln counties in Tennessee. A strong thunderstorm will impact.
So this is at 1 a.m. We'll definitely have a little bit of energy out there. It's not crazy like it is to the west and over northwest Alabama and northern, northeastern portions of Mississippi. But there is some cape out there. But I'm thinking, like I said, this is going to be more of a damaging wind threat for northeast Alabama. Now, along and west of I-65, that could change. There could be a few tornadoes there. But thinking damaging winds along actually east of I-65 as it moves on through. So let's switch back. Okay, let me check this.
Alabama Highway 117, 14692, Alabama Highway 117. Caller advised that he hit a telephone pole. They had left the scene.
All right, let me take a look here.
Another vehicle is now back on the scene.
I had to back that volume down a little bit. We've got 65 right here at our station, and our winds are literally, I think the highest gust we've had 7 miles per hour. Yeah, the Cape values are decent in northwest Alabama, that's for sure. A lot more decent than over here. Thanks, Justin. Yeah, I'm not able to look at the messages right now, but I imagine one of our admins is probably looking at them. I appreciate it. Crossville still got a long ways out, but we'll look at the timeline again. I know not everybody is probably more than likely not seen that new timeline. Let me see if I can find it. I think this one's it. Yeah, this one is it. So, of course, 1 a.m., 3 a.m. from where it's, about to be in northwest Alabama. 3 a.m. to 5, anywhere around Decatur, Huntsville area. And looks like it gets over here somewhere between 6 and 8 o'clock. Pressure is 28.68. Now keep in mind, we'll also go and show this. We're expecting some severe weather on Wednesday, too. Into Thursday, could be some heavy rain. Severe weather. That event there could be a little bit more on the intense side from what we've seen. But again, this far out, we're having trouble forecasting day to day at this point, due to the cuts and everything. It's making things very difficult. Very, very difficult. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens with that. Okay, I'm hearing something went up. Okay, no, that's a watch. So still watching a supercell or, decent thunderstorm there. It looks like that's a supercell from my view here. It's just to the northeast of, or actually very close to Faulkner, Mississippi, to the northeast, moving over Corinth. Watching that one to see if it moves into northwest Alabama, and at its current track, it looks like it probably would. Just have to watch another tornado warning now out for Waynesboro, Tennessee, and moving toward Lawrenceburg. That's a strange looking tower. Graphic, if I had to say so myself. Yeah, the 6 to 8 will be Monday morning. Just saying, not Sunday. I don't think I put that. I don't believe I put Sunday on that. Yeah, it says 6 to 8 a.m. Monday. Just making sure I didn't accidentally put Sunday on there, because the way the day's been, it's possible. Wow, I have not seen any lightning bugs. That's crazy. It has been one heck of a tornado season, that is for sure. Not a problem, Lisa Lee. Appreciate you watching here. Still warm in Etowah. It's still warm outside here. 65 degrees, humidity's 97%. The humidity's really kicked it up there. I'm trying to look at my dew point. If I can figure out how to do that. Okay. I got to get some new batteries, it looks like. Our dew point is 67, so it's well in the range to support severe weather. Most definitely in the range to support severe weather at this point. So 67 outside on our tower. All right, these storms are getting really close to northwest Alabama at this point. But yeah, if I was I know I'm not, but if I was a developer of this, like, I'd have it fixed somehow so that you could, like, maybe click one of these towers up, where it's, you could see the live stream or whatever. You could click it up, and if like, you would have a warning thing that come up, and you'd have to agree to it that you would not live broadcast it if the owner didn't want it broadcasted. But if they didn't care, it would just open up. Like, so at least give us some options so we can use some of these stations, and, so we can actually look and see what's going on. That would be so awesome. But just fixing them so that nobody can live broadcast a radar on the radar, I get it, but I don't. It's really kind of weird. Like, if you didn't want people watching it, why would you put it up to begin with? But I guess they got their reasons. So we should see an extension in this warning here. That cell continuing to the east, it's going right toward Waterloo. So it looks like there might be an extension with that warning here any minute. I do see some weak embedded rotation with that. Not, anything crazy at the moment. But I am shooting a bit far away, too. I'm really far away. I wish there was a closer radar site. There's that little guy. I've been looking for that one. Nice little gust front developing out ahead of this stuff, and I know we had that discussion. What are gust fronts? In the when it was in the spotter class, but basically, there's a little gust front out ahead of this stuff. Basically, you're going to see a shelf cloud along that, and there's going to be some energy there, some lift in those storms. That most of the time you'll see development along that. Not all the time, but as you can see in this case, it is actually doing that. If you guys are able to see it, nope, you're not able to see it. Let me move you down a little bit more. Well, that didn't work. There we go. Getting closer to being where I need to be. Okay, where did my tools go? So right there, little gust front out ahead of this stuff. So I didn't even know we had solar flares Friday. I'll be darned. I knew there was a blood moon sometime, like 29th or I don't know. All right, Jennifer. Yeah, you've got a little bit longer. So if things don't pick up, I may do the same, but probably not. Yeah, there's not many radars to really choose from here. Still waiting to see if they issue it out. Warning into northwest portions of Alabama there, around Waterloo. I know there's not a lot going on. Yeah, they could. I've also been watching them on the cameras. I got some amazing footage. I actually was able to look at some of those towers when the storms were coming through. I captured a spin up tornado earlier on one of them. I've got that recording. Can't share it just yet. Got another one with a tornado, really nice one. Of damaging winds, outflow, dust coming up everywhere, and then behind it you see the wall cloud and you get the little brief spin up on the ground. I got that. Can't share it yet because I got to get permission from the owner to do that, and I don't know what I'm going to do to even do that, but yeah. All right, so they don't go ahead and issue that warning out here in a minute. I'm probably going to back away for a little bit because I don't want to bore everybody to death. Like I'm about to go to sleep myself over here. So, but yeah, if we do break, I'll definitely be back here watching. If anything pops up crazy, I'll definitely go back live again. No problem, Tasha. Well, I appreciate you watching. But yeah, it's just absolutely quiet at the moment. Just, kind of boring. Wish there was a way I could make it more interesting, but unfortunately. All right, guys. So we're going to break for a little while. If I see anything absolutely crazy pop up, and they'll probably put a warning out as soon as I click the live stream off. Be my luck. They did that last time, but we're going to watch it. Sit back here and watch it for a little while longer. That little cell does have some decent hail in it. We've got reports of 1-inch diameter hail just to the north of Faulkner, Mississippi. That's moving toward Kossuth, Mississippi, I believe. That's what that says. Quarter size hail with it, but to be honest, I mean, unless you're up in Tennessee, it really doesn't look that crazy. There's a few pop-up supercells up in Tennessee I'm seeing. There's tornado warnings on them. And something I'm noticing, these cells have become pretty outflow dominant to the south portion there. That don't mean that they can't get themselves back together, but you know usually when cells become outflow dominant, it becomes hard for them to produce tornadoes. But I've seen things go both ways with that. And what I mean by outflow dominant is outflow boundary ahead of this, which basically gust front, same difference. But you can't really see it anymore, but it's definitely there. And it's going to be with this batch of stuff like right back here. And also starting to see some of that gust front develop out ahead of it.
Control for the North Alabama, Southern Middle Tennessee Skyward Emergency Net, which has been activated for tornado watch.
Boring is good, but for viewers, they want action. And I get it. I think everybody will come back, though, once it picks up. And that is the tornado watch, is what he's speaking of there.
Muscle Shoals, Red Bay, Russellville, Sewanee, Sheffield, Town Creek, Tuscumbia, and Winchester. We also have special weather statement, which was until 1 a.m. for Lauderdale and Colbert counties at 12:15. There was a strong thunderstorm along a line extending 6 miles northeast of Olive Hill to near Canaan. Movement was 30 miles per hour with wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour and penny-sized hail. We also have a special weather statement for Moore and Lincoln counties. At 12:25, we were tracking a strong thunderstorm 12 miles southeast of Mount Pleasant or 14 miles south of Columbia.
So something I'm noticing here, we're starting to get a little bit of a southerly, southeasterly track with that cell there. So if that continues to dive southeast, it looks like that part of the line, could come on down into Alabama here if it continues. That's some destructive winds there. Nice bow echo. The line, the winds are just blowing way ahead of the line there, or actually bowing the line out, rather. Let's take a look at that through the velocity, if I could even get a good shot of it from where I'm at. That's not a very good signature, but that's interesting. I don't know if high top would be better at this point. I don't know. Where'd that other little guy go? There we go. Not much help, but I guess better than nothing. That is one of those little radar sites. It's not a very big radar. It doesn't beam out very far, but it beams out, I guess, enough to see something coming toward them, but not very good. I guess we're going to have to beam down here at Columbus Air Force Base. It's giving me the best idea, and that's not very good. We're beaming really high up into the storm. Those pixels are really large, so we're really high up. But it's giving us an idea. There is some damaging winds with it. Looks like it's trying to go a little bit south. And we're finally getting some of this shower activity into Waterloo in northwest Alabama, so All right, so we're going to break away from that and look at this. Got to give. I mean, we got to do something. It's absolute boring here. Okay, this one's way different, but I do like it. A little bit of rotation with it, not too bad. And the radar that I need is officially down due to that last storm that came through. So all we got is this little one. Data's over in 30 minutes. Okay, yeah, this not this one. All right, just got some damaging wind reports. Trees down at the crossroad of Hampshire Pike and Old State Road near Columbia. All right, got a warning out just now. You know what? I think Huntsville might actually be a little better.
Severe thunderstorm warning for northwestern Lauderdale County and Colbert County until 1:45 a.m. At 12:48 a.m., CDT severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from 7 miles southwest of Shiloh to 8 miles northeast of Ripley, moving east at 20 miles per hour. Hazards: 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. Radar indicated hail damage to vehicles is expected. Expect wind damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations impacted include Riverton, Wright, Street, and Waterloo. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. And we still have the tornado watch in effect until 5 a.m. CDT for northwestern Alabama. KI4KWR, Skywarn Net Control.
And there's that warning I was talking about, 30 minutes ago? This stuff is moving incredibly slow. Well, I mean, if they collide together, I mean, probably, not much, really. Forgive that my dog's on the background for absolutely having a fit. Don't know what's going on with them. So yeah, sorry I muted everybody. Didn't think you'd want to hear dogs barking. If I had a mute button for my ears, I'd put one on too. Looks like this stuff will be in Waterloo probably the next 13 minutes. Wright, 19 minutes, and Gravely Springs around 25 minutes. So this stuff's not moving very fast at all. Athens, Tennessee. This storm here is far away from DeKalb. We're looking at northwest Alabama and up in Tennessee currently. There's really nothing else going on except for a warning there. It's not even made it into northwest Alabama yet, but they just put out a severe thunderstorm warning. It's going to be due to this line here. These are got some hail cores in there, about 1 inch of diameter. But there's a very nasty cell there going toward West Point, Tennessee, Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, Summertown, Tennessee, Etheridge, Tennessee. Some destructive winds there. Also, tornado warning on that one. For those, I see some people coming from Tennessee. Remains in effect till 1:15 for southeastern Lewis, northeastern Wayne, and northern Lawrence counties. 12:38, a severe thunderstorm cable producing a tornado is located near Waynesboro, moving east at 40 miles per hour. Tornado quarter-size hail. Of course, looking at the path here, are trying to find some areas, but dangerous storm will be near Summertown at around 1:05 a.m. That's all it gives. Oh my goodness, these dogs. Let me get a track if I can even think straight. Okay, so it shows this, the meanest part of this stuff looks like it'll be around center Tennessee in 2 minutes, Hudson in 6 minutes, Park Grove in 8 minutes, Briar Hill 9 minutes, Brace in 14 minutes, Etheridge in 14 minutes, Weber City in 15 minutes, Three Oaks 16 minutes, and Alexander Springs is 17 minutes. That's the northern part of it. Let's move down to the southern part because I can't track so much at a time. It's kind of weird. Pea Ridge, 5 minutes. That's Tennessee, by the way. Gandy in 10 minutes. Gutherville, 13 minutes. Lawrenceburg, 16 minutes. Hickory Heights, 18 minutes. Gum Springs, around 20 minutes. And New Prospect in 23 minutes. So let's go ahead and make this a little bit bigger here. Areas impacted by that will be Collinwood, Henryville, West Point, Waynesboro, Lutz, and Lawrenceburg. That's in the path of that severe thunderstorm warning, but there's also a tornado warning up to the north. Okay, big severe thunderstorm warning just issued out for that big line. Up in Tennessee, covers quite a big area. I gotta say, this radar here is kind of odd. We'll look at that on another scan. I don't think it's nothing, but Let's see here. Nope. But yeah, those in Tennessee, thanks for coming on here. I appreciate it. I try to cover any areas that I see that's, someone might be in harm's way, of course. That little cell there has got a nice little hook on it. Going right towards Summertown and Farm. Looks like it might be south of that area in Tennessee. There is a nice little couplet there showing up just to the west of Etheridge, Tennessee. That's trying to wrap on around there. Looking at it on the scan here, I'm using two radars. One of them shows up better than the other one does. As far as this one's high resolution velocity. Nice area of concern there. Be right in this area here. Something trying to develop. Lots of destructive winds too going toward Lawrenceburg. You can see those right there. But if we was going to see a tornado, it would be right in that area that I've circled out. Oh, wow. We might have something developing there to the southwest of Summertown. So if you're in Summertown, Tennessee, you definitely need to be taking your tornado precautions. That cell's a little bit away from you, but it's coming very close. So if you're in Summertown, hopefully you're already underground. You're already aware there's a tornado warning out in that rotation. Looks like it's going to go a little bit north of Etheridge, a little bit more closer to Summertown there. Nice little rotation showing up there on the scan. And there could be a tornado, or there is a tornado trying to develop. I'm not seeing nothing on the ground currently, but we are beaming kind of high up too, and that's just the problem. I don't even know if I took that into consideration or not either. There's so many things you got to look at when you're tracking these storms. How far away the radar is, how high up are you beaming in it,
SKI-42WR, control for the North Alabama, Southern Middle Tennessee Skywarn Emergency Net, which has been activated for Tornado Watch number 81 in effect until 5 a.m. CDT today. For the following counties in Alabama: Coleman, Limestone, Madison, Morgan, Colbert, Franklin, Lauderdale, and Lawrence. In Tennessee, Franklin, Lincoln, Moore. Cities to include Athens, Cohen, Coleman, Decatur, Deckard, East Hill Springs, Fayetteville, Florence, Huntsville, Lynchburg, Moulton.
This radar here is very, very odd. I'm not used to the colors.
Town Creek, Tuscumbia, and Winchester. We still do have the severe thunderstorm warning for...
Way too far out.
There we go. Sorry about that. For Lauderdale County and Colbert County until 1:45 CDT. At 12:48, severe thunderstorm was located along the
That very nasty signature there, going right towards Summertown.
Northeast of Ripley, moving at 20 miles per hour, so it should be very close at this point. Hazard, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. That was radar indicated.
They are beaming really high up.
Is expected. Expect wind damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations impacted include Riverton, Wright, 3, and Waterloo.
The radar I need is
Also do have
out of service
special weather
here.
statements for Lincoln, Lauderdale, and Colbert.
So watching that when they're Summertown, hopefully they're, in their shelter. That's a nice signature. We are beaming kind of high up, though.
Should be hitting, at least, they should be hitting those areas right now. I-14 Skywarn in control.
So yeah, our line is finally getting into the northwest tip of Alabama. Yeah, Tennessee is definitely under that tornado watch. Yeah, Coleman's NOAA weather transmitter's down. Thanks for reminding me. Yeah, I know Athens, Tennessee. That's why I went up to Tennessee there, was looking around, trying to give an idea of where it was headed. I'll make sure. Let me go up here and look one more time. Bear with me. I'm not familiar with Tennessee whatsoever. Okay, bear with me. I'm going to go to the background here and look up a map. My goodness. Okay, so I'm way off from Athens, Tennessee here. There it is. Well, for Athens, Tennessee, if you're still watching, give you an idea where the storms are at. They are coming in your general direction. You will eventually get this line. How strong or severe it'll be, I don't know, but there is a watching effect. Or no, I'll take that back. Let me go back and look at another radar and make sure I'm not telling you wrong here. Because radar Omega is being a little bit laggy again. Okay, yes, there is a tornado watch in effect that shows Athens, Tennessee in that. Couple tornadoes possible, scattered damaging wind gusts of 70 miles per hour possible, isolated large hail events to 1.5 inch in diameter possible. The watch effective this Monday morning from 1:40 a.m. until 8 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So you're under that tornado watch until 8 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time for Athens, Tennessee. There is a nice camera there. It's probably going to be catching a really good shot there of those cells moving in near Lawrenceburg. So I'm going to switch to that here in a minute. That's a nice little signature there to be showing up on that scan. Still kind of broad. All right, so let's focus on what we got going toward Waterloo here in northwest Alabama. Yeah, that's correct. I just switched it to Tennessee. It just took me a minute. I had to look on a map to find it. Appreciate the help. Right now, Columbus is the closest one that I've got that's actually working. Watching just a little bit of rotation in this cell southeast of Corinth. And also a little bit south of Counce, Tennessee. Kind of two little cells there I'm watching. And these things are spinning like a corkscrew too. That is crazy. Just take a look at that. There's a good bit of wind shear in there. Absolutely twisting around like a corkscrew. Wow. Hello, Sarah. Appreciate you watching. No, you're good. You're not late. We're just kind of hanging around trying to, I guess, find something to do. It's kind of quiet. I'm going to try to redo this camera here or get it readjusted here in just a second. So I'll try to adjust it out. Gives you an idea just how this thing is doing like a corkscrew. That's crazy. I had the camera a little bit off. Yeah, just look at that. Looks like a corkscrew on there. Well, Sarah, right now it's nowhere near Henniger. Like, this stuff is taking forever to get into Northwest Alabama. It was supposed to be in Northwest Alabama by 12:30. That was by Weather Service Huntsville, and it's not even made it there yet. Like, it is just now getting into the Northwest tip, and it's 1:12 a.m. in the morning. Like, this is the slowest line I think I've ever tracked. Like, I could probably walk faster, I believe. Yeah, just now getting into the northwestern tip there, near Lauderdale Wildlife Management Area. A little hell core there, northwest corner. Not really anything that's showing up that would be impacted by that. But there is a severe thunderstorm warning out on it, of course. That's been in effect for a while now. Man, already been streaming for an hour and 10 minutes. That is insane. I'm not sure if you guys can read that or not. Well, happy 5th birthday to Emily. I remember when I was, that's about the age I was when I got into weather, which I always loved it. That, at 5 years old, you really don't got a clue what to do. But Twister was the first movie that came out for my birthday. 96 is when it came out. I was born in 95. Storms should be out of here probably around 8 a.m. in the morning.
KWR. Net control for the North Alabama, Southern Middle Tennessee Skywarn Emergency Net. We are still under the tornado watch until 5 a.m.
And again, that does not include DeKalb, Jackson, and Marshall counties.
Coleman, Limestone, Madison, Morgan, Colbert, Franklin, Lauderdale, Lawrence counties in Alabama, and Franklin, Lincoln, and Moore counties in Southern Middle Tennessee. Cities to include Athens, Cohen, Coleman, Decatur, Deckard, East Hill Springs, Fayetteville, Lawrence, Huntsville, Lynchburg, Moulton, Muscle Shoals, Red Bay, Russellville, Sewanee, Sheffield, Town Creek, Tuscumbia, and Winchester. And just to keep everybody in the loop, we do have a report of 1 inch of hail in Harding County, Tennessee, just north of the state line. KI4WR, Skywarn Net Control, and we still do have the severe thunderstorm warning for Lauderdale, Colbert County until 1:45 a.m. KI4WR, Skywarn Net Control. KC4RG receiver.
Yeah, that 1 inch diameter hail report, it went out a while ago. I don't know why it's just showing up on their end. Unless there's a new one, and I don't really see it yet. Alright, so new severe thunderstorm warning went out for this little cell here that I've been watching. Of course, it does note possibility of a tornado with that 1 inch diameter quarter size hail, 1 inch diameter, and some 60 mile per hour winds. So let's kind of track this out a little bit here. So yeah, as I've stated, this is looking more like a damage and wind thing. So far, it's what it's been. Okay, they're finally speeding up a little bit. Thank goodness. 50 miles per hour. That's a good bit of a change in speed there. Looks like they sped up a little finally. Yeah, my track's just a little bit off. All right, so showing this area here, which is a little bit further to the west, of course. So I could eventually make it. It's like toward Cherokee in like 35 minutes, so it's still got a little ways out. Okay, this northern part of the line is the one that's moving slowly. Murphy Crossroads in 44 minutes, it says at the rate it's at right now. Total population 0. Okay, guess nobody lives there. Yeah, really starting to see this stuff bust up in Tennessee here. course, still some damaging winds going toward the tower there. Pulaski, I'd like to take a look at that here in a minute. Probably will switch really quick. Take a look. Born in 86. Let's go to radar scope. Yeah, there is a insane looking shelf cloud approaching the tower in Pulaski, Tennessee. Wow. That is crazy. Yeah, that's a crazy looking shelf cloud. Oh, Mike, y'all got a wow. I think I heard that call go out for some kind of accident. It seemed like someone ran into something. If I'm guessing correctly, considering I heard something about lines down, I'm guessing probably a power pole. That's not good. And I seriously doubt the weather will be out here before school starts. That's why there's so many delays that have been put in effect. And I know it's so boring. I may, back it out for just a little bit. And, if anything tornado wise pops up, I'll jump back on. That way, everybody's not bored to death like I am watching, nothing go on. Which I guess that's good. It's not doing nothing yet, but. Isaiah, yeah, how are you doing? I don't like chasing at night. I admit it. I do not like chasing at night. I quit doing that years ago after I got too close to the tornado that came through on County Road 4. It was rated an EF3 tornado, and it took out a lot of stuff, including the mobile home. It wrapped the frame completely around the oak tree. That's all that was left of it. After I got too close to that one, I decided I would not do that again. So, yeah, because you can't see them. It was pretty much pointless, and you risk your life for pretty much absolutely nothing. You can't see it. So yeah, if I'm gonna chase, it's gonna be during the day. I'm not doing it, not ever doing it again at night. Like I learned my lesson that night, and that was before I got on social media and stuff like that. Doing good, doing good. Well, I'll run the timing back across so everybody can take a look at it. Hope you've been liking the new timing that I've been doing. I've been putting a lot of work into creating these timelines and stuff. We had some model data inconsistency earlier that I don't even know where to begin with that, but it caused some problems. So thankfully, got everything back to the way it should be. Again, it's coming in right now between 1 and 3 a.m. And, that kind of makes sense because it seems like the line speeds up. It's supposed to speed up after it moves through the Florence area. It's supposed to kind of speed up a bit. So 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. for the, of course, Florence area, northwest Alabama, pretty much where it's heading now. 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. for Decatur, Huntsville areas. And then for northeast Alabama, I know the little box is a little bit far to the right, but I couldn't get it to fit anywhere in there. So 6 a.m. to 8 a.m., that is for DeKalb, Jackson counties. It might come in a little bit sooner for, the western portions of Marshall, western portions of Jackson. It could come in around the 5 a.m. time frame there and then move through here, anywhere between 6 and 8. It's just a little bit of a, idea of when it may move through. So, just an idea. So you can expect it to be an Ider and in our area again about 6 to 8 o'clock. That gives you an idea, Mike, where that's going to be making its way into your area. But yeah, that spotter class was fun. What was funny about it though, looking at Isaiah's name there, it reminds me of that class. Was she was look? I mean, it was really weird because what are the odds of us having a storm spotter, a trainer, or meteorologist doing the storm spotting class? Anyway, I'll get it right in a minute. She was a scientist, and her name was Kate. What are the odds? If you don't know what I'm talking about, you never watched Twisters, and you really should watch it. You'd understand. Only thing different about her, she wasn't blonde-headed, and she unfortunately didn't play on Twisters, but it kind of seemed like it. She definitely seems smart enough to. Well, I really don't know. I am going to take a break here because I know everybody's been with me for an hour and 22 minutes. We've been talking. These storms are crawling their way there. I don't even know what they're doing right now, but they're just crawling their way there. I never thought I'd say this, but there's a severe thunderstorm warning in effect there. You would literally have time to probably, run to town and come back, and you probably still wouldn't be hit by it. That's how slow it's going. It's like 20 miles per hour. So, that side of the storm's not moving very quick, but it should speed up, as it does move in. Hopefully it does, because if not, it's going to be boring the rest of the night. But, just make sure you got it notified, so it notifies you if I go live, because I can't say a timeline, because as soon as I end the stream, a tornado warning could go up, and then I could have to jump back on. Or it could be 30 minutes, an hour, maybe 2 or 3 hours. I just really don't know, till it does it. So, Mike, I wish you could have went to that class. You would have loved it. Isaiah is actually with the fire department in, my goodness, I don't remember. It seemed like it was out of Huntsville. I could be wrong. Correct me if I am. But, he was from the fire department out around, I'm going to say Huntsville, him and some of the other guys that was there. And what are the odds we sit right behind him? And the only reason I knew who he was because I happened to look at the back of his hat, and it had Andrews. And I'm sitting there staring at his hat, and I'm like, well, I've seen somebody comment that seemed familiar to that and said they was here. So I looked, and I was like, well, what are the odds? We sit right behind him. There he is. Right ahead of us. Okay, Moores Mill Fire Department. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, our dogs are a little bit on the edge, too, because they was barking like crazy just a few minutes ago. Well, I just thought it's a new day, so I can, when I go live, if I had somebody in the chat, they could go in there and hit followers, and it would notify just about everybody. Of course, there's sometimes it don't notify everyone, but it, could notify, a few that I'm live, so I could try that. Oh man, you hit it a little bit early. Yeah, I wish you'd have held off on that till my next one, because now I'm not going to be able to notify everybody once I come back. So now we're going to have like a ton of people come in here, and they're going to be like, what? There's nothing going on. You can only do it once a day, FYI. Yeah, I noticed that. You did. Didn't even know who he was. That's the bad part. You probably didn't know who I was either.
Which has been activated for the tornado watch till 5 a.m. for Coleman, Limestone, Madison, Morgan, Colbert, Franklin, Alabama, Lauderdale, Lawrence counties in Alabama, and Tennessee, Franklin, Lincoln, Moore. This includes the city of Athens, Coleman, Decatur, Deckard, Eastville Springs, Fayetteville, Florence, Huntsville, Lynchburg, Moulton, Muscle Shoals, Red Bay, Russellville, Sewanee, Sheffield, Cow Creek, Tuscumbia, and Winchester. We also have a special weather statement for Moore and Lincoln County, Tennessee. Strong thunderstorms will impact.
He's tired too. I can tell.
2:15 a.m. At 1:27 a.m., Doppler radar was tracking strong thunderstorms along a line extending from 11 miles southeast of Mount Pleasant to near Pulaski to 10 miles southeast of Lawrenceburg. Movement was east at 45 miles per hour with wind gusts of 50 to 55 miles per hour and pea-sized hail radar indicated. Gusty winds could knock down tree limbs and blow around unsecured objects. Minor hail damage to vegetation is possible. Locations impacted include Howell, Lynchburg, Mimosa, Smithland, Petersburg, Coldwater, Blanche, Lincoln, Kelso, and Mulberry. If outdoors, consider seeking shelter inside a building. Frequent cloud-to-ground lightning is occurring with these storms. Lightning can strike 10 miles away from a thunderstorm. Seek a safe shelter inside a building or vehicle. Tornado watch remains in effect until 5 a.m. for north central Alabama and middle Tennessee. KI4QWR, Skywarn and Control.
3 piglets. I bet they're cute. Oh, okay, Isaiah. Yeah, I know for some reason I'm trying to think who it was.
Thunderstorm warning for Lauderdale and Colbert County until 1:45 a.m. KI4QWR.
Yeah, I was thinking my hat and shirt would probably give it away, but I wasn't 100% sure if anyone paid attention really, other than the guys at the EMA office. They know me pretty well. So starting to see some stronger activity now pop up on the Doppler radar here, finally. So it looks like that stuff is just now getting to Waterloo, and it's, very weak. But it does have potential for some damaging winds in there. Yeah, along that line. Coming into Waterloo right now, so probably a nice shelf cloud. But yeah, these storms not, doing very good at all, which is, that's great news. I've not been, I haven't been crazily impressed with this system. I've been looking at it on the models a lot today, and of course, the newest models come out just a little while ago, and I believe we just got some new models in. Let me back up and take a look at those. I'm pretty sure we just got an update. Let's see if I can't get that to come up. Okay, so we do have an update. Okay. So let's look at this new update that we just got in. Thanks, I appreciate it. I worked very hard to figure out those banners. I mean, it took me a while to figure them out. And this thing is not wanting to cooperate. It's one of those deals where sometimes it wants to work, sometimes it don't. Okay. So this is currently, pretty much what we're looking at right now. What you're seeing on the radar right now is pretty much this, batch right here that we're watching. It looks like it's located about right there. That is at, 1 a.m. So yeah, that's where it's at right now. Make its way a little bit further southeast. And then it breaks off. And then it looks like it tries to, that part of the line gets around Huntsville. It shows around 5 a.m. and moves on off into Jackson County, missing Marshall County completely at this point and DeKalb County completely at this point by 6 a.m. So that stuff's not moving fast at all. Then we get this stuff on the back. There's some stuff out to the west. And it looks like it wants to push into our area. So once we get that batch out of here, we'll have another batch come in behind it. We'll keep an eye on that. That right there is at 6 a.m. and it progresses to the east along I-65. Looks like it gets around I-65 around 7 o'clock. Moving through Marshall County, entering DeKalb County, of course, also Jackson County. Looks like that is at 8 a.m. And then completely moves out. Then we have, a secondary, some stuff on the backside. Of course, showers and storms develop. And then we get the main line. Everything finally completely gets out of here by 2 o'clock. And then, that line gets on out of here. That's by the newest update. Also, we'll take a look at the newest information here. Like these forecasts change every hour. I mean, maybe even some of these even quicker. And I know people think I'm joking about it when I say, it changes every 30 minutes to an hour. Well, you're seeing it. We've been live for an hour, and it's already updated again. So that tornado perimeter is still wanting to hang on, I'm going to say from Huntsville to the west. That's where it's wanting to hang out at. It hangs out right there west of I-65 and also around Huntsville. Those are very low numbers, though, so those are not really high numbers at all for a significant tornado perimeter, and it really just falls apart completely as it moves east. It looks like it goes south of us. So at the moment, tornado threat is still same as it was. Where it's at right now, pretty much, it has the best potential, to produce a tornado if it's going to. And then this weekend, we will be watching this secondary line, though, to see what it does. This weekend, the bunch. And the supercell composite, let's back it way up.
National Weather Service is also watching a severe thunderstorm or a severe storm.
Pretty much where it's at.
From Tippah County, Mississippi. It does have some impressive hail core. And it's
Let's get back to Doppler here.
County in about 45 minutes. For KWR. Skywarn at neutral.
Oh, yeah. It was really bad up and had some people, I think, from Illinois. Yeah, Illinois and Indiana. Indiana had some crazy stuff, some beautiful views, too, some storms. And I actually watched one of their cameras and watched a brief spin-up tornado on the camera. So I was able to get that footage of it, and I've got it. And another one where, if you've ever seen a shelf cloud, you've seen one of those beautiful, they call it whale's mouth shelf clouds. It was coming right at the camera. Of course, there was a tornado warning on the southern side, southwest side, and that was the side the camera was looking at. You could see that wind hitting the debris and bringing it toward the camera, and it spread it out. And then to the right side, you see a really big lowering, and you see dust start to spin up, go up in the air, and you can see the camera pans to the right right as it's coming through, and you're able to see that little spin up tornado right as it comes past the camera. I wish to goodness I could share it with everybody. Right now, Albertville, absolutely nothing. Nowhere near anything at this point. But yeah, if you would like to support us, we definitely need support. Things have got crazy expensive. There's a way you can do it. Not required. You can just share and like. That's that's a way to do it too, because I know everybody's hitting it hard right now. But things have just got absolutely crazy. I've got to make a phone call with the internet company tomorrow. Some stuff going on. And I'm hoping they'll be willing to work with me. If they don't, then I don't know what to do, really. It's just one of those deals. I've tried everything, there's nothing I can do. But I don't know why they wouldn't work with me. Yeah, there's been a lot of devastation lately. It's sad. And I'm actually glad to see the radar do what it's. I'm glad to see these storms fall apart. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to take a break because, the models are showing this batch that you're seeing right now. It's supposed to just split off completely. So we'll see what happens there. We're watching the stuff to the west. That'll be what we keep an eye on. And, kind of see what happens there. But we will try to go live within the next hour or two, depending on how things look. Might take a rest and, just kind of keep an eye on things. But we'll definitely get back on and update. So thanks again, everybody. I do appreciate it. Yeah, hopefully it just weakens on out and we get some rain. I'm hoping, next week, same way. Give us a break. Maybe just some heavy rain. I'll take a day or two of just some heavy rain. And maybe some thunder, give me a break. All this severe stuff's been crazy. I'll take another look at that cell there before I do get off here, but I am about to wrap it up temporarily, of course. Got a storm there moving near Waterloo. Got some hail in that. But yeah, Isaiah, thanks for watching, though, by the way. I don't know if you left, but I appreciate what you guys do out there with the fire department and saving lives and out working in this mess. We appreciate you. Same with Mike over at Eider. We appreciate you. I believe you're still tied up on that wreck. Hopefully, y'all get it out of here soon. But the rate these storms are going, yeah. Looking good right now.
Thunderstorm warning for northwestern Lauderdale and northwestern Colbert counties will expire at 1:45 a.m. The storms, which prompted the warning, have weakened below severe limits and no longer pose an immediate threat to life or property. Therefore, the warning will be allowed to expire. However, gusty winds are still possible with these thunderstorms. And as a reminder, a tornado watch remains in effect until 5 a.m. CDT for northwestern Alabama. Fort Kennedy are Skywarn in control.
Okay, so that expires in 2 minutes. It has not expired yet. All right, so let's have a look at what we're watching, and Huntsville's watching as well. All right, so if you remember me telling you earlier, I said, when these cells become outflow dominant, they usually, any potential for a tornado. Of course, I've seen it happen the other way around before. I have seen the storms, be able to maintain themselves before. Now, this, rare occasions they can. Most of the time when they become outflow dominant, though, pretty much you're in a damaging wind threat, not a tornado threat. And in some cases, though, I've seen the opposite. But what we're watching is this stuff back here to the southwest. It's moving kind of northeast. We're also watching the tail end of this because there is a gust front right there. There is a nice little gust front there. That's what these showers are feeding off of. You got a bit of lift right there, a little bit of energy to work with from that, outflow from those storms. And that's kind of what these little individual cells here are popping up along is going to be that gust front. They're kind of following it currently. So we're going to keep an eye on that. And a new warning, I'm still thinking a warning is going to come out for areas like Cherokee and maybe to the south there, Freedom Hills Wildlife Management Area. I'm still thinking there could be a warning go out there. That's why I'm watching it. And I'm also seeing this one strengthen back up. And that's also why I'm kind of watching at the moment. So I'll watch it for just another few minutes and see. Oh, wow. So the state troopers save the county departments all the time. That's awesome. Oh, I got you. Yeah. Okay, Mike. That's good. I don't really know the role of the state trooper. I mean, I know that they're required to come out if anything, if it's on the interstate or anything like that. I don't know the full role of all that they do, but I do know, when you hear of an incident on an interstate or something like that or highway, you always hear a state trooper. So, yeah. I guess when the firefighters see the state troopers show up, they're like, oh, man, thank goodness. Yeah, we're supposed to get a lot of rainfall from this next system next week. Been looking at that. This system here was supposed to produce a lot of rain, but it kind of winded down a little bit. But we could still get close to an inch of rain out of it. Of course, I have not looked at the newest information regarding that. I guess I'll go ahead and do that. Oh, I'll be. Yeah, we're actually under a excessive rainfall outlook for this. I knew we were supposed to get some heavy rain, but we are under excessive rainfall outlook, which is valid Monday. Goes on from Sunday to Monday. It is a marginal risk, some excessive rainfall. So yeah, this system, wow. Definitely be bringing some rainfall in. Wow, that is crazy. Looks like we could see around 2 inches here. So, yeah, still a good bit of rainfall to come with this system. So, there is going to be a good bit of rain with it, according to the models here. But, wow, I'm just looking at the crazy amounts of rain to the northwest. Like 10 inches of rain in some areas northwest of Mississippi, western Tennessee there, 7 inches, 8 inches. My gosh, that is a crazy amount. But yeah, northwest Alabama in our area has the best chance of seeing heavier rainfall, anywhere around 3 to 3.2. And areas along and east of I-65, looks like around 2 to 2.3. So still a good bit of rain to come with this system. State troopers work any wrecks, even in cities or counties. Sweet. That explains it. Yeah, we got a lot of good deputies and officers here in DeKalb County. Speaking of one, I got to keep one in my prayers and remember him. He's going through a lot right now. Good friend of mine, been friends with him many, many years, and He lost his dad recently, so I really, heart goes out to him. I'm sure many probably know who I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm noting an interesting signature showing up west of Gravely Springs. That could be some damage in winds or something. Wow, there's no way that's correct. Let's see which radar I'm beaming away from. Beaming from Huntsville. So it could be a warning going up here in a moment. I got 66 miles per hour west of Gravely Springs. Oh, warning, there it is.
Alabama has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Lauderdale County in northwestern Alabama, northern Colbert County in northwestern Alabama. Until 2:30 a.m. CDT at 1:49.
Yeah, definitely some quarter-size hail in there. It's a nice updraft.
Locations impacted include Green Hill, Northwest Alabama Regional Airport, Florence, Riverton, Wright, Oakland, Waterloo, Lexington, Center Star, and Killen. For your protection, move into your room on the lowest floor of a building. A tornado watch remains in effect until 5 a.m. CDT for north central and northwestern Alabama. KI4KWR, Skywarn to control.
Yeah, I've been watching this cell here for the past minute or so. Nice inflow going up into that cell there. It's really pulling it up into the storm, and it's got a nice little hail core on it. I was looking at that just a moment ago on another radar before that warning came up. I'm actually in the back looking on radar scope here. Yeah, nice little hail core. That's what I was seeing with that signature showing up. I'm beaming so far away, but it showed that nice little updraft. So that's going right toward Gravely Springs. Some quarter-size hail in there. Also some 50-mile-per-hour winds possible. Okay, so now that part up to the north is now trying to make its way south. And I'm telling you, this storm chaser right here, he has got to be wore out. He has been, I have watched him track all the way back in Indiana. I mean, I've watched him everywhere. And now he's in Mississippi coming toward Alabama. He's going right for that cell there in Burnsville. Like he's literally right in front of it. He was going toward it, but looks like he's decided he's going the other way now. Yeah, he's going away from it now. Probably a good idea, unless you want to go through the hail core. But yeah, he's actually got a live camera up on his chase vehicle. But it's another one of those deals you can't view it without asking him permission to view it, or live stream it anyway. You can view it, but just not on a live stream platform. So it looks like it's right on top of Gravely Springs any minute now. I'm going to do a measurement on the winds on this one. We're beaming really high up. So we've got 58 miles per hour it's showing west of Gravely Springs. I'm going to look at it on another scan. And got to keep in mind we're pretty high up. So yeah, I'm going to say about 50 miles per hour possible with that, considering how high up we're beaming out. And I'm in the background on radar scope, so bear with me. I can't see the other radar or if anybody's saying anything. I'm not able to see it just yet. All right, switching back. The purple and well, hang on. I think I know what you're talking about. Let me get this radar back up to reflect high resolution. The purple is it's a really strong, I guess what you would call it's a stronger signature on radar, which pretty much usually indicates hail. So usually when you see a signature, like that, it's usually indicating some hail. And depending on what radar you're using, it depends on the radar. This one here, if let's say we're having baseball size hail, you would see blue in there. There'd be like a light blue color in there for some more larger hail, but it depends on what radar you're using because each radar has a different color scheme. And of course, for radar scope, I've got it personalized, so I'm pretty familiar with what I'm looking at. Versus these, I know what I'm looking at on them, but it just takes me a little while to get used to the color because it's different. And the green you're seeing here, of course, the green and red, of course, represents winds going toward and away from radar, those two colors. So anytime you're, looking for rotation, you're looking for them to be really close together. And of course, storm relative velocity is what it does is it actually takes the storm motion out. And it just, it gives you a better scan of the storm looking up, like for rotation and all that, where the high resolution velocity, it's better for looking at the damaging winds potential in a storm, which is what we're using right here. But it's also, a decent tool. You can see rotation with it too, but in my opinion, it's easier to see it with the storm relative, high resolution storm relative than it is the other because it gives you a better look. Man, this guy might actually make it into Alabama. I think he's going for it. I bet you he is going to be in Alabama shortly. Hats off to him because he's been driving all day long and all night. So that is one dedicated storm chaser right there. Pretty sure I just heard Mike on the radio. So good. Those guys will be getting out of there pretty shortly. Maybe not. So yeah, it's a pretty stout storm now on top of Gravely Springs. Seeing some hail, some gusty to damaging winds also. So they're getting some hail, pretty good sized hail there in Gravely Springs. Doppler radar indicating 40 to 50 mile per hour winds right now. I've got 45 over Gravely Springs currently. And we're beaming from Huntsville High Top. Maximum wind gust 50 miles per hour. I know I was looking for the wind in there because I noticed the quarter size hail, but didn't see the wind marker till just now. Maximum wind gust 50 miles per hour. Very, very close to what the radar is indicating right now on my end. I'm starting to see the hail core break up a bit individually, not as strong as it was as it passes Gravely Springs. I'm watching it carefully because it may be trying to rotate. I am going to be watching that. It does appear that it might be trying to rotate a little bit because there's some crazy wind shear right there. It is calm right here where we're at, but for those storms to be acting like that, there's some crazy shear in place.
AI 4 KWR, new control for the North Alabama.
Not seeing nothing crazy out of it.
Skywarn emergency that we are still under the tornado watch till 5 a.m. CDT4, Coleman, Limestone, Madison, Morgan, Colbert, Franklin, Lauderdale, Lawrence counties in Alabama, and Franklin, Lincoln, and Moore counties in southern Middle Tennessee. Cities to include Athens, Cowan, Coleman, Decatur, Deckard, Eastville Springs, Fayetteville.
Yeah, he's officially in Alabama.
Lynchburg, Bolton, Muscle Shoals, Red Bay, Russellville, Sewanee, Sheffield, Town Creek, Tuscumbia, and
Yep, there he goes.
We also have
Right across the state line.
thunderstorm warning for Lauderdale and Colbert County until 2:30 a.m. KI 4 KWR, Skywarn in control.
That area there is. Grab my concern. I'm going to switch to Columbus. Oh, nope. Already on Columbus. Okay, good. So yeah, I'm looking at two different scans there. Broad rotation in that cell there. It is severe thunderstorm warned. Okay, now you see what I was talking about by the, this one's got some pretty big hail in it. You see those blue markers showing up there? That's some larger hail showing up, and that's what I was just talking about. So hoping that you would be able to see it, but that is a good indicator of some large hail. Of course, it's showing quarter size, but where that little spot's at there, that was larger than quarter, but it's went away. Didn't last but a few scans, so. All right, let's go here. I don't know. It seems like the Columbus just has a better scan on this than Huntsville. Huntsville just seems to be too high up. I'm wondering if he's chasing out of that storm there that's north of Cherokee. It's kind of making me wonder if that's not what he's after. No, it's not Reed Timmer. All right, Mike, be safe there, bud. Be safe. Give me a call if you need me for something. Take care, Brenda. I just now switched back to the comments. But no, Reed Timmer would not have his tracker on. That's something I know about him for very well. Is he would not have his he would not have his location on. He's pretty picky when it comes to that. He don't want you following him, so he doesn't put his on. Usually, he doesn't ever put his on, but there's been sometimes he's put it on, but usually no. You don't see his tracking location on. And no, I don't believe that's the same storm tracker there. But yeah, I was planning on taking a break, but y'all run into Huntsville area. I was looking back through the comments there. All right, this sale continues to weaken. And I know it looks like they're rotating on radar. I mean, if you're looking at it, it looks like they're a barrel, like rolling. And basically, that's what they're doing. Like, if you've ever been under a shelf cloud, you've seen those clouds. They look like they're rolling around, like literally just rolling down and then going back up. And that's pretty much what they're doing. They are actually rolling. Be a neat view there if you was able to get ahead of that. That's a very nice shelf cloud along that. Yeah, I could try to click and tell you his name, this tracker, but I'm afraid if I click it, it's going to bring it up. I can find out this way. Let me switch back to a different radar in case it does bring him up. I know I've had a lot of people tell me, "I'll just broadcast it. It ain't that big of a deal," And I'm like, "Well, it says don't. It says not to do that. So I mean, you might want to go to court and get sued over it, but I don't. I think I'll take my chances and just not do it." Okay, Brad Arnold is his name. And yeah, he's currently got his camera off. All right, everyone. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a break. If I see anything crazy pop up, now that I got a little bit of time to do so, we'll go back live. But we are going to take a quick break here. So be ready. Make sure you got it set to receive my live streams, my notifications, all that good stuff. But we will continue to track and everything. Again, if we see anything pop up, we'll go back live here. So going to take a quick break. We'll see what happens. Let it kind of move on in, and we'll go from there. So thanks to each and every one of you that's watched. I do appreciate it. And we'll see you again pretty shortly, I imagine. So take care. Thanks again, each and every one of you. I appreciate it.